You'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Come watch the Lincoln Stars on November 7th as the Fargo Force comes to town for $5 Friday. That means $5 mezzanine tickets, $5 nachos, $5 mixed drinks, and $5 off a purchase of $20 or more. It's $5 Friday with the Lincoln Stars at the Icebox on Friday, November 7th versus the Fargo Force. Get your tickets today at lincolnstars.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see probably sunny skies. It will be breezy. The afternoon high around 65. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover, light winds, the low around 43. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It will be breezy again. The afternoon high near 66. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to the Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Thursday, November the 6th, 2025. It's Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska Day here at The Ticket. Bock, Bock, when we first learned that we was going to do this show, I wanted to make sure that we was original. We was different.
That's right.
We both gained each other trust. I can say I can trust you with anything, Bock. Just working with you, I have the utmost faith in you.
I appreciate that.
When I say that, I was nervous. I was nervous because I've hopped in radio probably 3 years ago, just as a guest, learning my way around. Never had thought about having my own show or our show. Yeah, as we must call it, Bock the Blackshirt.
It's very clear who the Blackshirt is.
when we found out, I was a little nervous, but at the same time, having you on my side was not a problem to worry about. My problem was getting content, getting stuff, and having conversations with DP, and the way he put it, it's a fun job. It's fun. I mean, who else would like to get paid talking sports? It goes way beyond the payment, though. It goes about the knowledge of sports, the commitment to making everything true, being real as you could be. I like to be the real as I could be about football when I talk about things, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, but just listening to people I meet in the last couple of weeks, they love the show. I've loved doing this every day. I've come to work 2 hours early to be prepared to get our thing going for us. And It's just a thrill to be working here, doing the show, having fun, talking Nebraska football, just talking sports in general. I hope we can keep this thing going on and make it a regular thing. I know we are, but at the same time, we have to keep it going ourselves, though. We have to be original and keep being ourselves and block out what Eric says. That's
That's right.
That's one thing. I'm gonna break Eric on one day. I want to invite Eric on a show with me for an hour one day. I hope he accepts.
Eric, by the way, bothers everybody at the ticket. Not
I know.
just ours,
I've seen it. I've seen it. I want to know who's Eric boss is, because how much free time he has is too much.
Or at least we need to go criticize him about what job he's doing.
Yeah. Go to his job and sit with him for a day and just bother the mess out of him. All right, Bob, do you know what happened 156 years ago?
Not off the top of my head. I'd have to do some math.
All right. 156 years ago, college football was born. Teams, Rutgers and Princeton, known as the College of New Jersey, played their first game, Bock. The game rules similar to soccer, with players advancing the ball by kicking it, not by carrying it or throwing it, Bock.
That sounds more like Rutgers and Princeton. But all jokes aside, I know about the birthplace of college football. And of course, it has made so many different changes over the 156 years, as you put it. And then obviously the big changes that we've just seen in the last 5 or 10 years. But man, it's crazy that it's been that long. I was just looking too, and this is kind of a side note here, that UCLA's only been playing football since 1921. So, these different programs come along at different times. Nebraska's 1890. That's why the 1890 initiative kind of started that way. But that's I wouldn't have been able to guess that. 156. That's a long time.
That's a long time. And football has came a long way since then. I mean, if you understand, what was it? 156 years ago, Bob. That's what I had it in my notes.
1869.
Yeah, 1869. We go 100 years later. 1969. Way different than 1869. You go 40 years after 69, Bock, and it changes a lot. Now, college football is different. Now, when we talk about difference, I came across this poll, Bock, and it said, should the group of 5 teams get an automatic bid, or should it be eliminated in college football? 52.8% said no more mid-power 4 teams. 47.2 teams says Memphis not ranked. So they're going against it either way it go, Bob, when we look at that part of it.
Yeah, that is certainly interesting. Memphis, as you said, not even ranked in the initial college football poll yet. A group of 5 is guaranteed. The best of the group of 5 is guaranteed. So they would make the playoffs. I think that you could even make the distinction there if you really wanted to. Say, like Boise State last year, they were climbing into the top 10. I think they're 12th or something like that toward the end of the season. And so maybe you could make the distinction is if a group of 5 team makes the rankings, then you go about it that way, and then they can get in. But I don't mind it. In fact, I actually like it. I think if you're going to do a big playoff, and I consider anything over 4 teams big, to go ahead and give everybody a chance to win the national championship, right? I mean, that's got to be the goal for every team. It might be less realistic here and there, but then you also get the Cinderella factor. And no, nobody's going to believe in Memphis going into that, but that's what's going to make that upset so exciting when it does happen, a la college basketball. So I like the idea. I don't feel bad for team number 13 or 14. Again, maybe because of what we've seen from college football before. You can lose 2 games and still get in. Now, there's going to be arguments between the 11th team that gets in and, with the 12th team being that group of 5, so the 11th team that gets in and that 13th team about which between the 2 of them should get in. But I think altogether, I love having a group of 5 team to get in just because it gives everybody an opportunity from the beginning of the year to win the national championship. And that wasn't always the case.
So when we talk about the group of 5 teams, do you think one would ever win a national title? I mean, When we talk about Group of Five, Buck, is it just a one and done thing for them to put them on a map for 1 year? Or do you ever think a Power Five team will advance farther than what they have so far?
Well, I think it'll happen. To win a national title is a different question. I mean, that seems as unlikely or close to as unlikely as we talk about maybe a 16 seed beating a 1. You wait long enough. We've seen it happen now a few times. So, I mean, but you'd have to make a run. We saw last year, too, with Boise State. I believe it was Penn State they went up against, and it just didn't look necessarily like a fair matchup, right? Because of the level of athlete that was out there outside of Ashton Genty. But that's it's going to be difficult, especially when you talk about the haves and the haves not, the changes here in college football. There might be more parity, I think, among the Power Four teams, but does that fall down to the Group of Five? I'm not so sure that it does as much. So we'll see. I think there's going to be years where there's more, better opportunities for these teams to do it. I don't think this is basically the best year for a Group of Five teams, but you think about, maybe an Urban Meyer Utah team from back in the day when they were still outside of the power, conference or something like that. I think could make a run.
All right, Bob. So, BYU and Texas Tech plays this weekend, Bob. BYU fans, Bob, I don't think you heard the story yet, but BYU fans have helped raise money after the wife of Texas Tech, Team Barber, was injured in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, they raised $148,000.
Wow.
For Texas Tech Barber. BYU plays Texas Tech this Saturday. It's bigger than football, Bob, when you talk about things like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you like to see that, especially, going into it for game week. This is the biggest game in the Big 12 this season and for these programs in quite some time. But to be able to step away and still appreciate that there is life outside of football, and there are people struggling, and specifically when it's the opponents, somebody that's connected to the opponents to give out a helping hand is great. I mean, we'll see what happens in this matchup. I still love BYU, kind of the Cinderella. Texas Tech from out of nowhere is kind of the rich kids. You didn't necessarily expect that a few years back, but now they're the team to look at and say, yeah, well, they could buy anything they want. So it's a little bit different than our traditional view of Texas Tech in the Big 12, but we've talked about it for years too with them, specifically the Big 12 conference, is that it's there for the taking. Every year it's going to be somebody different. There's no Texas, there's no Oklahoma overlording the conference, but perhaps Texas Tech, and we've seen it this year, rises to be that team. But year in and year out, I mean, this BYU team, I suppose, not all that dissimilar in their rise as Arizona State. And Arizona State obviously had Cam Scatterbo. BYU doesn't have, that story necessarily, or that dominant of a player. But Arizona State wasn't beating everybody to the curb last year. Neither is BYU. They're just kind of sliding by off on their way to this undefeated start. And that's why you see in the college football playoff polls, they're not, despite being undefeated, they're not number 4. And some would have an argument that they should be. I think if they beat Texas Tech this week, say what you will about their close games, I think you've got to rise them up there with the other undefeated teams in college football, of course, which is the top 3 with Ohio State, Indiana, which will face off for the Big Ten championship, in Texas A&M.
I love their coach. I think he's a true warrior. I think he's an old-fashioned guy when you talk about it. He was asked to sum up his team mentality as they gear up for a top 10 showdown against Texas Tech on Saturday. Guess what he said, Bob? Keep quiet, stay humble, and just go to work. Not all about talk. When you're on a mission, Bob, in football, you don't talk. You don't talk during the season. You let your game talk for yourself. That's one thing we was always taught by the great Tom Osborne, is that we're not a talking team. If we did, we talked on the field and not around him. So, he was very disciplined about dancing, especially end zone celebrations. He didn't like that part of it. I think I tried to high step in the end zone a couple of times, and he got on to me like that. But at the end, he said, "Congratulations on the touchdown." So he was not a guy that really fussed at us like coaches do. He laid the law down, Bach. He would say something, but it would be that reverse psychology kind of talk and it's stuck in your head. So, having coaches like that or a dime a dozen, you don't have too many in college football left. And I think he's one of the true old school coaches when we talk about how he got his team 8-0 and trying to finish the season undefeated.
Yeah, it's interesting too, especially I think if you think in the realm of all these job openings, is if Kalani Sitake would be interested in leaving his alma mater, BYU. He's been there for a long time now. This started as the coach from 2016. He's had 3 teams finish in the last 6 years in the top 25, and last year coming off an 11-2 team. This team might do that too, or get close to that type of record. Certainly would be up there. And we know now, unfortunately, through the Trev Alberts incident and all too close to home here at Nebraska, that maybe being an alma mater, being your alma mater isn't as powerful as it once was. But to actually be actively coaching there and have the success that he's been able to take it to, it'd be tough to get him away from it. But I don't know. I mean, because you just kind of look at the top 25 and the teams that are kind of surging, he would have to be one of those names that you would think of. Maybe you could get if you're SEC, Big Ten, or Texas Tech, I suppose, one of the power players in the Big 12. But specifically going to the SEC or the Big Ten, obviously, is where the best college football is played. I would be fascinated if he wins this week. You're going to hear a lot about whether he would be interested in going away from BYU.
That's kind of funny, Bock, because I got some stuff today we're going to go over a little later. USA Today came out with predicting who will be hired for each Power 4 teams, college football team vacancy. So we'll go over about 8 teams, Bock, and we got an old Nebraska guy on this list. So we'll talk about that when we come back here on Bock at the Black Shirt at 93.7 The Ticket.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today. .7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules.
All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock The Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Before we go on, we have a caller, Bock. We have Alex on the phone line. Alex, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you, man?
We're good, all good here, sir.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Don't you think it's kind of hypocritical to say that these Power 5 or Power 6 teams should be able to get in when even a Power 4 Florida State went undefeated a few years ago and didn't even get into the playoffs?
Yeah, that was that. What was that? The 4-man,
14
playoff. Yeah, it's a lot harder when we talk about that Florida State team right there. I think that was a shame how they was done, but you know, when you change things because of a quarterback getting hurt, I think it hurts what the team did all season, and I think that was a shame on that BCS committee who did that to that team.
The
But
college football playoff committee, yeah.
the college football playoff committee, I think it was a shame on them for what they did to Florida State, and then you have to look at and realize that when they played their bowl game, they did get blown out. So I don't take that as much of not being able to get in. I think that kind of stems from the transfer portal and everything that rules they have made for college football now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an absolute disgrace that Florida State wasn't allowed in. It was almost as if, it was their 14 playoff. They're transitioning to the 12. I thought at the time I personally like a smaller playoff. I think they used that as part of an argument of why they needed to extend it and say, hey, not everybody can get in. It's not fair. Florida State should have got in. Alabama that year. I mean, the problem was you were going to have to shut out the SEC from a 14 playoff, and they weren't going to do that. It was Nick Saban's last year as well. So I thought that they kind of used Nick Saban's power, if you will, or the SEC power more likely to get in. And I thought that was an absolute shame. Yeah, they got blown up by Georgia. I would too. I wouldn't care. I mean, if I go undefeated and you put me in some bowl game, right? And I know it was a major bowl game, but obviously bowl games don't mean near as much as they have before, and certainly don't mean as much as being able to play for a national championship if you go undefeated. So that was one of the biggest disgraces I had seen in college football. So, when you kind of go back into whether it's hypocritical to let them in or not, I mean, it hasn't always been decided perfectly. We know that in college football, there's been undefeated teams that don't get a chance to play for a championship over the years. But I think that's terrible. And I think if you expand, that's why I say you got to let them in, because if you expand to 12 teams, or if you expand to beyond, anything beyond 4, 8, whatever it might be, those teams should get in one way or the other if you go undefeated. That was at one time the standard of college football, was that every week was a playoff. Now you can argue there's still playoff implications every week, and there's more games that matter to get in. But again, I mean, I feel like it was kind of silly last week when it was Nebraska and USC, and all the talk around it is playoffs, because now in college football, the only thing that matters is playoffs and championships. Back in the day when it wasn't so focused on just that, you could have successful seasons and have more stability, as we're seeing with this coaching cycle, without that in play. And it made college football a little bit different. And again, some people don't like that. Some people would say, well, what are you talking about? The championship needs to be the focus for any sport all the time. And that's what it is when it comes down to a playoff and trying to make it there. But I like that college football was a little bit different, had many more opportunities for successful stories, successful seasons without it being completely national championship based. But, back to that was one of the worst things I've ever seen, especially due to a quarterback's injury, a player's injury. Maybe they still had Jared Verse. They still had a lot of talented players on that Florida State team. To rob them of that opportunity was disgraceful.
Bock, they got beat 60-something to 6 by
they
Georgia.
They didn't play anybody, and I wouldn't either. and then they went around and won 2 games the next year. And I understand what happened. If you're Florida State, you're a name brand. You do everything that's expected of you. Go undefeated. In college football, historically, you get that opportunity if there's 2 teams. This was a 4-team playoff. And again, that was the SEC flexing their power and getting in. And, I'm not going to argue that Florida State might have would have won the playoffs that year. I'm arguing they should have had the opportunity to win. And that's kind of the same thing. You go around with these, opinions, and then everybody's got an opinion and all that. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with everybody's opinion, but I sure agree with their right to have that opinion. And so that's kind of like you go like that might be extreme, but you're comparing that to Florida State and how much I care about college football. A Power 4 team going undefeated. I get it when you're locked out of the BCS. I get it when it comes down to 2 teams. That's sometimes how the math played out, but the math didn't play out that way that year. They allowed one loss or teams that had a blemish on the schedule to get in before an undefeated Power 4 team, Power 5 at the time. Just ridiculous. I'll never get over that.
All right, Bock, I'm going to leave that alone. So I'll let you did a great job on that one.
I still have passion about it years later.
Yeah, you got too much passion.
But thanks for the call, Alex.
All right, Bock. Something a lot of people probably don't know. President Trump he's going to cancel a lot of flights. How would this cutting flights at 40 major airports, Bock, hurt college football? There's a lot of traveling in college football. So now these guys might be sitting on the runway for a little while.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, that's obviously that's kind of an interesting way to kind of view it. It's going to have a lot more impact on everybody, not just college football.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of these teams have their own direct flights.
You still have to get off the runway.
Right.
That's the thing. You don't have so many people in the what they call it, the tower up there, the air traffic controller tower. Bock, if you look at this is some serious stuff when we talk about traveling for college football.
Well, I think they'll make. I don't have too much concerns. I think they'll make it there. It's just it's it's a little bit more of a headache, right? Because all these teams are traveling in these super conferences from coast to coast. It used to be, all right, well, don't fly. We'll drive to Kansas on a bus. But now it's a little bit more difficult going out to UCLA, and a bus would be a long road trip. So
sure,
you don't want to do that.
You have to leave Monday if you was gonna have to do that. I would never. Bock, I rode a bus I think 30 hours one time.
Did you really? You've done that before?
I
always wanted
did that
take
before.
A bus trip,
You don't want to take it like that. It was a bunch of drunk guys on that bus, Bock, and I believe I was one of them. So you have to look at that part, Bock. Like when you stop at every little freaking town.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
Along the way.
Yeah, it's like, man, it's like then you might be on I think I was on there for about 30, 34, 32 hours. That was a long trip.
Yeah, that is. Where did you go? That is a long trip.
Yeah. Songbird says TSA staff has not been paid for 2 paychecks. 2 paychecks. So rightfully, people have stopped working.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not qualified to talk too much about the government shutdown.
Yeah, government shutdown. Yeah. I mean, we can at least say it. I mean, I'm not diving deep into it because that part of news I don't cover.
Right. I got into sports to avoid that sort of stuff.
But when we talk about sports travel, you have to talk about the airports because majority of college teams fly. I mean, we don't go through the airport. We just go through the back. I mean, we just, ride on the terminal and just hop on the planes from the back of the plane. So that's some stuff we have did in college. I mean, that's the good part of it, that they don't go through the airports.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I haven't heard anything about any problems for Nebraska. I don't expect that there will be. So, But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some sort of frustration at some point for a game and getting laid over to it and all that. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it doesn't impact college football too much, and specifically, I don't think Nebraska has too much to worry about.
Bill and Bennett says, did you have to run the stadium steps for your touchdown celebrations, black shirt? No, I didn't, sir. Didn't have to run the stairs for that. Just trouble. That's the only time I had to run them, when I got in trouble. So wasn't that much trouble I made. I mean, sometimes sometimes we train on them stairs, Bob. It's good to run stadium stairs.
Yeah.
Great for conditioning. Coach Osborne used to run them out to practice every day at 50 years old. So that was one of the things that he did. So I guess if he knew he could do it, we can do it.
To encourage them. Have you seen players running stadium stairs
lately? I can say no. I mean, I don't go around that much. So I mean, they probably do. Some of them do probably, but most of, I think they're more like mat drill type of guys and stuff like that. We ran the whole outside of the stadium, not the outside, but on the outside of the sideline. So we'll go up to the back of the end zones. We just run up and down there. We used to have races, like they will make hurdle races, just certain things we have to do when we ran during the off season.
Was that as a team or just
as a team
competitively?
It was competitive team stuff.
Yeah.
Like Amon Green caught me, like we had to run I think we ran straight for the 100 yards. And then when you cut across the end zone, they had hurdles. So you had to go up under the hurdles, like bend up under them and zigzag up under them. And Amon caught me on the back end of running the 100. So
was he the fastest on the team?
Well, it wasn't he the fastest. I just wasn't. I didn't think he was gonna catch me. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a great head start, but it was enough probably to keep it. So
yeah,
and he probably was a better shape than me when in the summertime.
Need some eyes in the back of your head. Maybe you could have kept that lead.
Yeah, some rear view mirrors, something like that. All right, Bob, random fact that you didn't know, random stat that you didn't know. Nebraska has not been ranked number 1 since 2000. Nebraska is currently 7th in the country in all-time weeks ranked number 1. You know the number of it?
I don't. It's been a while. I didn't know that little trivia, though. I do remember Nebraska being ranked in 2000.
We're going to use that one right now. We're going to give away our first, what is it, Bar 48?
Bar 48.
Bar 48 gift certificate. How many weeks was Nebraska ranked number 1 all time? They're currently 7th in the country in all-time weeks ranked. What 7th in all-time weeks ranked number 1? How many weeks?
Text in your guess 402-464-5685. Or you can look it up, try to look it up real quick. It doesn't have to necessarily be a guess. You can cheat. No, you just need somebody to win here. Bar 48 is Lincoln's newest craft cocktail lounge, conveniently located on North 48th Street. Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails, beer, wine, and so much more. Follow Bar 48 on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today. We know one of you will. Whoever wins this $25 gift card, at least. We got guesses coming in. Brad from Baldwin says 53.
No.
Derek Method says 82.
No.
Kevin in Southwest Lincoln says 70.
Yeah.
There you go. We got a couple other 70s in, but Kevin was the first one, so congratulations. 70 weeks at the top. It's hard to believe after all these years, but yeah, remember they started off the year 2000 ranked number 1.
Yeah. Yes, sir. They did. So, Bob, basketball. Did you watch the game last night?
Which game was that? The Lakers game?
Yeah.
I saw the ending to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lakers are doing the thing. And if you have to say this, Bob, they're doing it without LeBron.
Yeah.
So just imagine when LeBron come back and this season really gets to rolling. The Lakers are going to be up there. I think they're going to be probably 1 through 3. I'll give them that by the end of the season. They'll stay where they're at. When LeBron comes back, I'm gonna have my put my intro back in. So we're gonna start doing a lot of basketball stuff. When you look at right now, it's been 7 games played, about 9 games played so far. Oklahoma Thunder 8-1, Lakers 7-2, Rockets 5-2, and a lot of people are talking about the Rockets because they don't have a point guard. And they got a big guy right now at the point guard. When you look at that, 5-4 Minnesota 4-4 Minnesota Timberwolves, Golden State 5-4. What about our guy over there at Dallas? What's his name? Cooper Flag. Oh, 2-6.
Yeah, not the best start.
All right, Boston Celtics. Oh my God.
Hey.
4-5. They're number 10 team right now. Chicago Bulls 6-1. Detroit Pistons 6-2. New York Knicks 5-3. Cleveland 5-3. Bob, what's up with your Celtics?
Well, unfortunately, more than anything, as far as getting storylines, is Jaylen Brown's sprayed on hair. Have you seen that? Jaylen Brown's hairspray is what has now rubbed off on 3 players. Ron Holland, OG Anunoby were the first 2, and then last night, Keyshawn George also had some of the black hairspray that Jaylen Brown is putting on his hair to cover up a baldness, I assume, or he's balding there. But he's leaning into people. He's using his head as his shield, and it's rubbing off on the opposing players' jerseys. So it's kind of funny to see their reaction. This is Jaylen Brown. Remember, he had a great head of hair coming out of college, but now he's getting close to 30. I think
he got it painted.
Yeah, he's painting it on.
Yeah, that's bad.
Before the game, it's not doing well. It's rubbing off on everybody.
I always thought about getting my hair painted on just to see how it look.
What I guess I don't know the idea behind it as well. What's how much do you pay for something like that?
Shoot, probably $100 or some dollars, Bob.
Does it last?
I don't know, Bob. Do it look like I ever? Bob, I got one of those heads. When you look at my hairline, it's like that long boat in the middle of the ocean out there. It's just sitting out there. It's just like a little spot in my head that just grows. Like the rest of it, I went bald probably when I was, let's see, almost 30.
Yeah.
Almost
that's what
30.
I heard is if you're balding like before 30, that's more likely than when it's going to happen. Of course, at some point it kind of starts to attack a lot of people. But
I don't like you, Bob.
But why's that?
Because you got a head full of hair.
Well,
I'm going to make some stuff. So if you want to be on Bock the Blackshirt, you got to cut off all your hair.
I don't think I'm worried about my hair. I think if I cut it off, it might not grow back. I do have a receding hairline and some thinning definitely going on. So it'll happen to me eventually, and I'm not looking forward to that day.
Oh man, don't worry about it, Bock. I listened to AD. AD went bald early. He said in life. So yeah, I was probably 28, 29 when it started thinning out. I had braids in my hair in Canada, so that was the only time I got to have. Well, Eric says I got a full head of hair, Farley. Yeah, come over here. We won't do the show with us. When you leave out, you won't have a full head of hair. Brad from Bowen says, shout out to the 76ers. Good start. If you call 73 a good start in basketball with Brad, we'll let you have that.
From where they started last year.
Did they get rid of, what's his name yet? What's their center name?
Well, Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
They probably drafted the rookie of the year and maybe one of the better draft picks here in VJ Edgecombe. He's cooled off a little bit since his debut. So we'll see kind of how that turns around, but he's definitely going to be up there for rookie of the year. And like I said, they struggled last year, 5-3 now. They've lost a couple in the last couple of days. So we'll see if they're able to rebound from that. But yeah, good start for the 76ers, given what the expectation was, because they were a massive disappointment last year. But if you go into the beginning of last year, they're expected to compete for the title. So
yeah, you got to give it up to Detroit. I mean, Chicago. 6-1, 6-2. My Atlanta Hawks, we're 4-4 right now. I'm kind of disappointed about probably what's going to happen Sunday morning
with the other team.
Yeah, my Falcons, they play Austin's Colts Saturday morning, like 9:00, 9:15, and that trade they just didn't make any sense for me. Probably makes plenty of sense for the Colts, but us Falcons, we need to find a way to win that game.
Well, like you said, I mean, they're going to be playing it in Berlin, Germany, so you got to wake up early for that one. Yeah, it's a big game for them as far as kind of staying in the race. You drop this, you would fall to 3-6. It's odd, and that division hasn't always been the most competitive, but Tampa Bay has kind of stuck out the last couple of years. Of course, this year 6-2, Carolina at 5-4. Atlanta at 3-5. So like I said, just to stay in that race, I think they are going to need to get that win. But you might be playing the best team in the NFL. The Colts are incredible and only getting better at the trade deadline. Jonathan Taylor might be the MVP of the season so far.
All right, Bock, let's go to break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff when we get to the top of the hour. We're going to go over UCLA's depth chart. We're going to go over their leaders on the team. We're going to go over a coaching carousel. And we're going to talk about a coach next that we haven't talked about him in a minute, but looks like he's going to make his way back to college football. Pat Fitzgerald, when we come back on 93.7 The Ticket.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Come watch the Lincoln Stars on November 7th as the Fargo Force comes to town for $5 Friday. That means $5 mezzanine tickets, $5 nachos, $5 mixed drinks, and $5 off a purchase of $20 or more. It's $5 Friday with the Lincoln Stars at the Icebox on Friday, November 7th versus the Fargo Force. Get your tickets today at LincolnStars.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O, sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see probably sunny skies. It will be breezy. The afternoon high around 65. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover, light winds. A low around 43. And tomorrow we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy again. The afternoon high near 66. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you.
Koppel Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Koppel is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Koppel Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at koppelcars.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Bock. Pat Fitzgerald, man, looks like he has been vindicated by that settlement, Bock, and that means he's seeking his next job. Not a bad coach when we talk about this guy. He's already been a head coach for 17 seasons. So, what are your thoughts on this, Bock?
Yeah, it's he was actually obviously a great coach there at Northwestern. They didn't always have the best resources or the best opportunity to get the better athletes in there. But when he could coach the team together, I always said like a lot of his 7-6, his 5-7, his 10-3 teams, they all look just about the same. There was sometimes a little bit of a difference in maybe an extra playmaker or maybe something a little bit better. But those defenses were always pretty tough. You look at his record at Northwestern, 110-101. Now, things did start to fall off a little bit, as we know. The 2022 season, unfortunately, they were 1-11. I don't want to revisit who that one was. And 3-9 the previous year. So, I mean, you kind of got to look at what have you done for me lately is always kind of the question there. But, before that, I think it was like for the previous 6 seasons, they had finished in the top 25, 2 Big Ten West. I don't know what you call it, division titles, I suppose. I don't like when people call them titles or championships, but a Big Ten West division title. So went to the Big Ten championship game, and he's just one of those guys you always would wonder what would he do with more to work with. And so I think, especially with this college football carousel, we know there's a lot of job openings, maybe not a whole lot of names now that his hat's thrown back out there. I'll be intrigued. I think he would have to be one of the top names that you would look at getting back into coaching. And again, if you didn't follow the whole kind of scandal or situation that got him fired there, of course there was a lot of different like hazing and allegations like that going on. After the settlement, Northwestern released a statement that noted inappropriate conduct in the football program did occur. The evidence uncovered during extensive discovery did not establish that any player reported hazing to Coach Fitzgerald or that Coach Fitzgerald condoned or directed any hazing. So that's kind of why he feels vindicated, as you're saying. And also, he sued the school for $130 million, which is quite a bit different, for wrongful termination. And they settled that in August. So we don't know what he necessarily got out of that. But to be back in the mix, wouldn't mind seeing him in the Big Ten again, but I don't know if any of those jobs are coming open. As we know, Penn State is open, but it definitely kind of fits the Big Ten footprint, if you will, on how to win those games. So maybe you kind of think of Midwestern teams also that come open, but maybe those
Colorado State,
maybe Colorado State,
Oregon State. Now, Bob, USA Today came out with predicting who will be hired for each Power 4 college football coaching vacancy. They only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have their top 8, which is LSU, Florida, Penn State, Auburn, Arkansas, UCLA, Virginia Tech, and Oklahoma State. We're going to name the coaches that they pick, and I want to see how you feel about it.
Okay.
LSU coaching job. They plan on hiring Joe Brady. This is according to USA Today. Joe Brady is the offensive coordinator at Buffalo. All right, Florida, Bock. They plan on hiring Lane Kiffin.
Mm.
So we don't know if that's true or not. We'll see. All right, Bob. This one right here is a mystery to me. Penn State. Who you think names on there, Bob?
Well, it's not Coach Rule anymore.
No. Manny Diaz.
Manny Diaz, yeah.
Duke.
I just don't know about that one.
I'm just saying, Bob. This is coming from USA Today. I'm just going back from what they said. Auburn. They're going to try to hire John Summerall.
Okay.
Think he's at Tulane, ain't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Arkansas. Dan Mullen.
Okay.
Bringing them back to the SEC. Now, UCLA. You won't believe this one, Bob. Tony White.
Tony White. There you go.
They have, USA Today has Tony White filling the job vacancy at UCLA. Virginia Tech, Bob. Take a guess.
Shane Beamer?
James Franklin.
James Franklin. I was going to say Shane Beamer is starting to struggle over there.
Yeah. Oklahoma State. Alex Goulash from South Florida. And that's the only ones they have. They didn't give me the other teams, Bach, but that's okay. I like Joe Brady. I think he was the offensive coordinator at LSU when they won the national title.
Yeah,
or was he? Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, and he was for that 2019 team. The passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach was his title there. Then got the OC job with the Panthers. Has been with the Bills ever since 2022, and has been their offensive coordinator the last couple of years. So, yes, I mean, I like it, right? I mean, he won the Broyles Award, if that means anything, from that year in 2019. But I don't know. I mean, I always say with those top jobs, you're a little bit worried, especially worried if they get a known name in the market. Brady's a young guy, just 36 years old. Certainly, and fits kind of the offensive wizard, as a lot of these kind of young coaches have been doing over the last 5, 6, 7 years. But if I'm in the SEC, that's not a hire that scares me necessarily. It could be wildly successful. Don't get me wrong. It's just not a name that comes in and they're a solid head coach, and they've proven it. So that's kind of interesting. Those names, again, when you just kind of rattle them off all together, a little bit underwhelming as far as I think what a lot of these teams thought when they were firing their head coaches.
Yeah, Manny Diaz, I don't know.
Oof.
That doesn't sound right to me with Penn State. Dan Mullen makes sense because he's an SEC coach. I mean, that makes sense to me. Tony White, kind of, but doesn't know, seeing how his year is going at Florida State. But who knows? Maybe he's ready, and maybe they are ready to pull that trigger, though.
I'd like to see it. Florida State, like you said, has kind of fallen on hard times. This past weekend, his defense did well, holding Wake Forest to 7 points. Some of these losses haven't been completely on the defense. Of course, that Virginia loss is what a lot of people kind of think of immediately, because that was the one that was surprising, knocked Florida State from the unranked spot, and his defense certainly didn't play too well there. But I mean, I think at some point it's more than just one game sample size, or just kind of what's happened in the last couple of weeks. I mean, Tony White's been a name that's been in those circles as of recently, even when the job came open last time and they went with Deshaun Foster. So I think that would be a solid hire, something that I don't, just kind of put it this way. UCLA is not at the top of this list, right? I mean, there's a lot of other schools, so it's not like they're going to get their pick of the litter. So to try to get somebody that maybe has connections and ties and has had successful defensive stints pretty much everywhere he's gone, I certainly could see it.
Do you feel like what happened at UCLA with Deshaun Foster, it would hurt a guy like Cadillac Williams, who's the assistant head coach at Auburn? Is he still the assistant head coach?
I don't even know
who's the interim coach over there now.
I can look it up, but I mean, I think there was a lot of kind of chasing Deion's fame, right, and what he was able to do at Colorado, hiring a former player that's more of a celebrity, in charge of the program rather than having earned it through the coaching ranks. I think that was clear in Deshaun Foster. I think it eventually became very clear, and since he's obviously been replaced there at UCLA, they've done much better. But yeah, I mean, I think there was a short period of time where maybe former players could rise through the ranks a little bit quicker because of their celebrity status. And for Dion, that's nationwide, right? But for a guy like Deshaun Faster, Cadillac Williams, that's more regional. And it just, I mean, I think that absolutely hurts him. I don't think it was ever a great idea to begin with.
DJ Durkin.
Yeah.
Who is that?
DJ Durkin used to be a coach at Maryland, so he's a defensive coordinator historically.
Oh, I never heard of him, so I have to look him up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to be in the running for the job altogether, but maybe if they, again, in the interim that can rattle off a few games, always has an argument.
All right, we'll be right back at Bock in the Blackshirt. We are powered
by
Bauer,
Infrastructure,
Bauer,
Underground,
Brett.
Excavating.
All right, we'll be right back at Bock in the Blackshirt here at 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see probably sunny skies. It will be breezy. The afternoon high around 65. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover, light winds, the low around 43. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It will be breezy again. The afternoon high near 66. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in season? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome back to Bock in the Black Shirt here at 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Barrett.
Excavating.
Shout out to the Bauer crew out there working hard. Bock, this weekend, the Nebraska Cornhuskers will travel to Pasadena, California?
That's right.
At Rose Bowl Stadium to take on UCLA. Now, UCLA fired their coach early in the season, Deshaun Foster, a former running back. Now they have an intern coach with a brand new offensive coordinator who's the son of Rick Neuheisel, and he gets more pub, I think, than the head coach does.
He does.
So, Bock, we're gonna go over their depth chart and some of their key players that they have. But Bock, I want you to do the depth chart first.
Yeah, we can get into their depth chart. Obviously, it starts off with a tongue twister we all learned kind of say in the offseason at quarterback with Nico Iamaleava. Nico wears number 9 out there, 6'6", 215 pounds.
Ooh.
He is a sophomore. Their backup, by the way, we know backup quarterbacks could come into factor here. Madden Iamaleava, 6'3", 195-pound freshman. So one way or the other, Nebraska is going to have to deal with some Iamaleavas out there.
Two brothers
at quarterback. Yeah.
Two brothers. His brother was where at first?
Madden?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He did transfer in this past offseason too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I forgot where he was at, but we'll worry about that part later.
Yeah, they must have made a pretty good deal with the Iamaleavas to get both of them over there.
Well, we can't talk ourselves, Bock, because in a couple of months here, it'll be 2 Riolas on campus.
That's right. I don't know if you know this. Indiana's got some Mendozas. They're backup quarterbacks. The brother, both Mendoza brothers in there. So it's a common in college football. Recruit the family, recruit the brothers, all that. So Nico so far in the year, by the way, 148 completions, 234 attempts. That's good for 63% completion rating, 1,468 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 7 picks. He's been sacked 19 times. So hopefully Nebraska can get to him once again. He is also their leading rusher, 81 attempts, 388 yards, 4.8 a carry, and 4 touchdowns for Nico on the ground. At running back, Anthony Woods, 5'11", 185-pound, number 6 junior, will be out there. They've got a few different guys that run out there. Jalen Berger, number 0, 6'1", 250-pound senior in there as well. And Anthony Frias, the second, 5'10", 225 pounds junior, is number 22. I believe he led them in rushing their last time out. So you look at each one of those guys again. Berger, 249 yards, 4.2 yards a carry and a touchdown. Javian Thompson, 238 yards and a touchdown. And Anthony Frias with 165 yards and a touchdown. Does average 9.7 per carry, does Frias. And again, I think he has been getting a little uptick as far as action here in the last couple of weeks. So could see a little bit more of him. But overall, they don't have a huge weapon at running back to be too frightful of. But as we know, Nebraska's run game defense is going to need to tighten up. They did better last week, and I know I kind of said this jokingly, but I'm serious about it now, is that they didn't give up the big play in the running game. Yes, they still gave up a lot of yards. Yes, it still led to a loss for Nebraska. But those big plays, it is important, right? I mean, that you break it to the house, you can just keep running. They lead directly to points. So we'll see what Nebraska's able to do against this running game for UCLA. You look out wide, their primary pass catchers here. Number 3, Quasi Gilmer, 6'2", 109-pound sophomore. Number 1, Rico Flores Jr., 6'2", 205 pounds sophomore as well. And number 2, Titus Mokiao Atimala, 6'1", 190-pound senior. And yes, I probably did not pronounce that correctly. But in any case, their tight end, number 81, Hudson Havermill, 6'7", 245 pounds. As far as what he does in the passing game, I think he's their 4th or 5th leading receiver, 15 catches, 105 yards for their tight end. In fact, Anthony Woods, a running back that doesn't even that we mentioned earlier, I should say, 15 receptions, 117 yards, and a touchdown for him. Gilmer has been their leader as far as total yards, 382 yards and 2 touchdowns for them out wide. Up front, it's as usual, going to need to be in college football, got to be big in the Big Ten. At tackle, left tackle, number 77, Cortland Ford, 6'6", 350-pound senior. Their left guard, Eugene Brooks, 6'4", 340-pound redshirt freshman, 340 pounds. My goodness. Center, 6'5", 315-pound junior Sam Yoon. Right guard, Garrett DiGiorgio, 6'7", 320 pounds as well. And number 71 at right tackle, Ruben Uniji, 6'6", 315-pound senior.
Some big guys up there.
Yes, they do come to town with a big line, but once again, not the most prolific rushing offense this far in the year for them. Again, Nico Iamaleava leading the team in rushing coming into this game. They have been able to do it a lot better since the change in head coach with Tim Skipper taking over. But we'll see if that comes into play once again here for the Bruins. As we can kind of shift over, and by the way, that number that I was kind of talking about, so they only average 160 yards rushing per game. That's 124th in the nation. So they'll try to see if they can get that going. But that's one reason I think Nebraska does fare pretty well as far as the matchups go, as far as being able to stop that running game. But we've seen quarterbacks give Nebraska defenses fits in the running game so far this year. Cincinnati and USC certainly come to mind. Nico is probably going to test Nebraska in that way. If we jump to the defensive side, the UCLA defense does not rank all that high in certain categories either. 124th in rushing defense, giving up nearly 200 yards per game. Total defense is 78th, 378 yards per game. They give up 31 points per game. But you kind of break it down as far as the players up front. On the defensive line, number 15, Anthony Jones, 6'5", 265 pounds. The other defensive end, Kashawn Bennett, 6'4", 250 pounds. Big guy in the middle, 58, Gary Smith, the third, 6'2", 340 pounds. And Jalen Hargrove, 6'3", 310 pounds. So a little lighter on the edges, but certainly a lot of beef in the middle there with their defensive tackles. Linebackers, John Vaughn, 6'1", 225-pound senior. Isaiah Chisholm, 6'1", 235-pound sophomore. And then you look at their 5 defensive backs that they run out there. Andre Jordan Jr., number 2, 6'1", 175-pound junior. Roderick Pleasant, 5'10", 175-pound sophomore. Their nickel, Scooter Jackson, 6'1", 185-pound junior. And their safeties, Cole Martin and Key Lawrence. Cole Martin, 5'9", 190-pound sophomore. And Key Lawrence, 6'1", 200-pound senior.
All right, Bock. Anything else about that?
Not necessarily. If you're kind of looking for the playmakers involved there, I mentioned John Vaughn's 79 tackles. He's the next leading tackler is their other linebacker, Isaiah Chisholm. So a lot of linebackers getting in on the tackling this year. Not too much as far as you're kind of looking at a sack-heavy team. Absolutely not. 6 sacks on the year. Their leading sack artist, if you will, Anthony Jones, has just 1.5 sacks on the season. So we'll see. Combined with, obviously, Dylan Raiola going out, maybe Nebraska has a little bit more mobility at the quarterback position. Shouldn't provide too much of a threat, applying too much pressure to the quarterback. Interceptions, just 3 on the year, 2 from Scooter Jackson. So he might be the one to look out for. They have been able to cause a couple of fumbles this year, 7 of them. Isaiah Chisholm and Key Lawrence each with 2 on the year. So nobody necessarily stands out a whole lot in any of these individual categories for UCLA, and they haven't been great as a defense altogether. But again, similar to what we said about their offense, a little bit better since the coaching change on the defensive side of the ball, but coming off a 56-6 loss to Indiana, obviously don't feel good about the offense or defensive side of the ball. Maybe they were able to respond again, had the bye week coming in. So hopefully for them, they're at least in a good headspace. Hopefully for Nebraska, they're still sad or worried about that 56-6 loss against Indiana, and maybe hopefully let them beat them twice, but that doesn't happen usually with a bye week in between.
Well, UCLA linebacker Jalen Woods say they plan to dictate the game by containing Emmett. So right now we're already knowing that they're going to try to horn in on Emmett, slowing him down, trying to make Latif beat him with his arm. So that'll be a interesting thing to watch when we do watch the game Saturday night.
Oh, and it's interesting, too, if you just kind of look at the way they go about getting it done. Again, Ian Maliava is going to have to do some damage in the ground game. He's led them in totality, like I said. He's the only one on their team to go over 100 yards this year in an individual game. He did that against Penn State and had 128, in fact, against the Nittany Lions. But they've had 4 different leading rushers on the year in their 8 games so far. And then the interesting thing, similar to kind of Dylan hadn't been throwing for much over 200 yards. If he did the last 5 games, basically, Ian Maliava in the same boat. He's only thrown for over 200 against a Power 4 team this year once, and that was Maryland for 221. So again, he's the dual threat. He's going to be trying to get a little bit of damage done on the ground as well as through the air, but it would be surprising, I guess I would put it that way, if he has too much success in the air against a pass defense in Nebraska that's been spectacular all year round, and obviously coming off against the number 1 offense in Jaden Maiava, a lot more of a threat through the air. They did wonderful against him. I expect that to continue against UCLA. Of course, the big question: can they contain the ground game?
All right, Bock. I was going to do this one because, we're going to learn more about UCLA tomorrow, but I was going to do this one for another gift certificate, but I just think it's too hard for the text line.
Yeah, it might be, but it's a fun question.
Yeah. Me and Bock was talking about something on our break, and I pulled up this thing and showed Bock. It's the most consecutive games without a 300-yard passer and Power 4. Now, the number 2 teams are tied. That's Northwestern and UCF with 30. Does anyone on the text line know how many games this team went without a 300-yard passer? Just give me the team name. If you give me the team name, we'll give you a gift certificate for Bar 48.
Yeah, so who has the longest streak without a 300-yard passer in college football? Let us know, 402-464-5685, $25 on the line to Bar 48. Like you said, don't think too hard. It's not a trick question. If you think about teams that don't pass the ball or aren't known for offense or passing the ball too much, you might be able to get it. So
2312 Army. No. Oh, 8915. You got it. Who is 8915?
Yeah, we're going to need you to send in your first and last name. We've got a lot of Army and Iowas coming in. It was Iowa. So there we go. Jaron is the winner as he texts in his name as well there. So again, I with our hints, I am appreciative that you threw out some of the service academies there. But even though they don't pass maybe 3 or 5 times a game, they apparently have broken that streak further than Iowa does. Iowa doesn't change their recipe.
Yeah. 3. Bob, how many games left? 73?
73
it's
games.
5-6 years.
Yeah.
It's like 5 years, Bock.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's even closer. I think that's like 6 years. I mean, I would have to see I have to go back and see when it happened.
Who was our last quarterback to play in the NFL?
Well, they did have the, now I'm blanking on his name, CJ Beathard made his way through the NFL. I think he might still be there. I haven't checked on him recently, but he's been a backup in the NFL for quite some time.
73 games. All right, Bock, up next, it is the Smoking Gun of Nebraska beef jerky contest. Not contest, but taste off. I hope we got a hot one in there because Bock needs some water. We're going to do a taste test when we come back with Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska Day here at 93.7 The Ticket. And me and Bock will have our usually taste test here on the air when we come back.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details, you take the compliments. Book your graze table today at grazinggouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see probably sunny skies. It will be breezy. The afternoon high around 65. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover, light winds, and a low around 43. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It will be breezy again. The afternoon high near 66. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Smoking Guns of Nebraska jerky taste test that me and Bock do every Thursday. So if you want some good jerky, go down to 443 North 48th Street in Lincoln, Nebraska. And if you want to go online, go to smokinggun.com, smokinggunjerkyofnebraska.com, and put in code name Bock or the Black Shirt to get 10% off on your order. Now, are you ready, Bock?
I'm ready.
I gave you some of my Sprite. Let's go with the first one, Bock. The first one is extreme garlic beef jerky.
Ooh.
Probably not the best idea for date night.
Sounds like it's right up my alley, though. I do like a little bit of garlic. You can smell the garlic, definitely, exuding off of the beef jerky here.
All right, let me move the mic because they say we smacking a lot. So we're going to move to the side. We'll get back to you in 30 seconds.
Yeah, try not to smack into the mic too much, but I am actively chewing it. That's part of the taste testing deal.
Okay, garlicky.
Yeah, definitely. It is what it says, extremely garlic. Delicious if you like garlic. And like I said, I absolutely do like to put that in a lot of different recipes that I make. I don't make very many recipes, but I stick it in there when I can. And this is delicious. Basically what you would expect from extreme garlic.
Yes, garlicky. All right, Bob. Little taste test.
Yeah, if you like garlic, you gotta get hold of that one.
Beer for my horses, beef jerky. That's what it's called. Beer for my horses, beef jerky.
What's this? Is there something in this? I wonder.
Beer for
my horses.
I don't know. We're gonna taste it now and see.
Beer for my horses is one of my favorite songs.
It usually have a little thing at the bottom where you can it gives you a little example of it, but it doesn't on this one. So
okay.
Let's just taste it and
Try
see.
it out. See what kind of taste we're gonna get here. Like I said, Beer for My Horse is one of my favorite songs, especially do karaoke. Yeah.
You do karaoke?
A little bit here and there. I'm not a big country fan, but this song's easy for my deep voice or my voice to get deep and And then I can get a little bit high for Willie Nelson's part too. My voice, that is. I know what you're thinking when I said Willie Nelson there.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to describe it.
Yeah, I can't pinpoint this one.
I can't either.
I have to ask Rand to come in one day and tell us about this one.
But it's good. Like I said, the song's good. The jerky's good. But as far as like flavor profiles, like I said, when it says extreme garlic, you can taste it there. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily taste like beer or anything. I don't know what horses eat. But it was good.
All right, Bock, let's go to the next one.
Kind of a little bit. Would you say, I don't know, like flirting with sweet, not quite sweet?
I don't know.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Well, they make it easier for us on the next one.
All right. Sweet and hot.
So that should spell it out. We should know that one.
Beef jerky. Sweet with some heat.
Sweet with some heat. I like
All right, Bock. I want to know what this one ranks on the Richter scale right here of hotness. So we're finna try it out. I want to take a little bigger piece than I've been taking, Bock, so I can really get the heat part of it in me.
Yeah, my initial bite, definitely, again, like many of them, when they sell heat on it, I definitely can feel it out of the gate. But can taste the sweetness as well.
I'll go to sweet.
I like it. It's kind of confusing me. Confusing my taste. But no, it is sweet. I mean, it's exactly what it is. Sweet with heat. Man, that is hot, though.
Yeah,
my breath is on fire.
Here comes the heat.
Yeah.
Oh.
You initially get a little bit of it. Now I'm tearing up.
I want to pat my lip, but I'm scared.
No, that's really good. That's it. That's if you like both sides of the spectrum there. Again, kind of confusing to do, and it is hot. There's no.
Yeah.
I mean, don't let the sweet
Comes in
fool you.
late.
Yeah. Don't
Comes
let
in
the
late.
sweet fool you. That is good stuff, though.
Okay.
Which one would you recommend? Do you think out of all three of them, which one's your favorite?
Probably the garlic. If I had to recommend it to somebody, probably the sweet heat though too.
I mean,
if you like hot stuff, then that's probably one you would go with. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, just keep some water or something near, because it definitely has some heat to it.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Love it. Yeah. Thanks again to the Smoking Gun of Jerky of Nebraska. This is always fun to do, and man, kind of opens up my eyes. It's just crazy how many flavors they have that we could try this week after week with some different flavors.
Yeah. All right. Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska Day here at the Ticket. If you want to stop by 443 North 48th Street, if you want to go online, Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.com, put in the keyword Bock or Blackshirt to get 10% off on your order. All right, Bock. We said we was going to listen to some Matt Rule today. Let's go at it now.
Yeah, I mean, you asked it earlier. Will the government shutdown affect their travel plans? So that question was out there. Let's see what Matt Rule had to respond with.
No, Susan and them are going to get on a call here in a little bit because they called us today and said, hey, it probably will be or could potentially be affected. So if we, I just told our guys, hey, what's next, man? Like if we got to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, as opposed to leaving later in the day, then so be it. If we got to wake up on Saturday and fly there and land and drive over and play, like, at the end of the day, the game, no one wants to hear about your troubles, and it's football. So we're going to show up and play football to the best of our abilities. But I do think, yes, things are pretty imminent. I just don't think we know exactly what that is. And that's, I'm glad I'm not dealing with it. Thankful for Susan, Haven, and Wish, and Thomas, and all those guys, because she'll get on the call and she'll figure out the best thing for us, and we'll just go do it.
So there you have it. Their travel plans might be a little bit affected there.
Yeah, if they have to leave tonight, I would hope so if they needed to. But you don't want to fly on he can say that all he wants to, Bock, but nobody wants to fly on a game day and get off a plane and play. So, that will be, especially if you lose, that will be an excuse. So we want you to get there a day before, get yourself ready. We don't want any excuses. We just want to go out there and play a good game.
Absolutely. All right. It was posed. The question was asked: did Dylan Raiola address the team before flying to New York?
He was a great teammate. Talked to the team in the team meeting. He's hoping he can get back here tomorrow. Our travel plans are very up in the air right now because of the government shutdown and how that might affect air travel. So we're kind of in some meetings right now trying to figure out when we can fly out there. But I know he wanted to be back here if he could before we took off, just to say goodbye to the guys.
There you have it again. It is interesting to see. This is having more of a trouble than I figured when he asked me the question earlier.
What's that question?
Just their travel plans. It sounds like they're pretty. They're
I thought you was talking about the Dylan part.
Oh no.
Yeah, go next one, Bob.
All right. Here's rule on guys reaching out to TJ for a vote of confidence.
Yeah, I think anytime you're gonna undertake something big, it's nice to know that you don't have to do it alone. When you feel like you're doing something on your own, it puts tremendous pressure and strain. When you feel like you're a part of a group that's going to go do something, it provides joy that you get to be a part of it. And so, even out there at practice today, we're out there in helmets and spiders, and Dane makes a diving catch in the end zone. Like, I'm not used to seeing guys dive in spiders, and not in pads, but I think there's a focus around making sure that everybody does their job at a high level. And I think we all are excited, not just like, hey, we're going to support TJ. We're excited for TJ, and we want to see him go out there and play. Eric Crouch was out at practice today, and he was talking to TJ like, hey, let it rip, man. So I think we're excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited for this young man. If I was a guy on defense, I would say, hey, go out there and play your game, man. And if anything happens, we got your back. You gotta let them know, hey, we got your back. Just play your game. Don't try to, do something outstanding. Just play like you usually play at practice or at game time. You're in a situation where you can make a name for yourself. Like, he can be that guy. I'm not saying go out there and pass for 400 yards. Go out there and dictate the game how you can dictate it. But at the same time, make sure you take care of the ball. Make sure you do your proper reads and just play it. Just be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting, especially this week. We're talking about with Carricker earlier. Do you feel like, Terrell, that the offense might have a higher ceiling with TJ Lateef just because it's new, just because he can run a little bit?
It's going to be different. It's going to be more different because we've seen what Dylan can do throwing wise, but we've seen that TJ can also throw the ball, but adding a little run to it will make it probably a little bit better and a little bit exciting, for us, because we haven't seen that part of our offense like this in 2 years.
Yeah, we'll see it. It's definitely going to be potentially a spark for the offense. Just going to have to be able to keep his hands on the ball. Again, 3 fumbles in his debut. Tough spot to be put in. Hopefully this week of practice will help get him going there. Rule is also, we mentioned earlier, this is a quick one about why New York for the surgery for Dylan.
Someone that the family had a relationship with. It's at the hospital special surgery, and our doctors here are awesome. They facilitated all that. They knew each other, so they worked together at the Giants. So
there you go. Not much there. Just kind of an interesting little side bit as far as the surgery going. Whose voice is becoming louder with Dylan not around?
What'd you say now?
We've got the question here. Whose voice is becoming louder with Dylan not around?
Yeah, I thought the receiving core, Ja'Cory is really one of the heartbeat type guys on our offense, Isaiah, Dane, I'm kind of, I like to, during practice, I like to go to the defensive field and watch the defensive practice and then watch the offensive practice on tape and then the defensive practice on tape. And I bounce back and forth, but as I walked over the offensive field a lot, they had unbelievable energy. Yelling, screaming, talking trash, having fun. Obviously our offensive line, those guys are, they have leadership throughout them, but I thought, those guys and, Emmett, Luke, we have so many guys that are just respected. I just think everyone's to embrace the idea of no one has to do this. We all just have to do just a little bit more to make sure we take the strain off of TJ. So, when he makes a throw, we got to win a 50-50 ball. We got to make a catch. We got to make those plays. The defense has to get the stop and flip the field for us. Special teams have to show up. And if we all take that approach, we have a good chance.
Oh, I think people need to realize that, this is why kids play football, to get their dreams. So I don't think it's more pressure on TJ. I think it's more pressure on UCLA trying to figure out how to stop this young man, and try to stop our offense, because they've been practicing for Dylan for 2 weeks now. So now you have to scratch out that week that they had before Bock on their bye week, and now you have to get ready for a young man that we might see RPO with. We might see something different. We might see the option. It's just so many different things you can do with this kid. It's gonna confuse UCLA a lot.
Yeah, it definitely could. Of course, the UCLA is doing what they can to get ready for TJ.
But you're going to look at some high school tape? You're going to look at Houston Christian? I mean, they don't have no idea what's going to go on with this young man. And that's the good part for Nebraska. And now is Coach Hogerson chance to really strip some plays for this guy, and really get this offense down the field and let's confuse UCLA. And by the time they do realize it, they're out the game, Bock.
Yeah, we'll see. Of course, Nebraska has their own kind of side of that as well. Rules asked, what do you look for when a freshman quarterback starts a game?
Yeah, I played a freshman quarterback at Temple my first year. I played a freshman quarterback at Baylor. I played a freshman quarterback here last year. I just think part of it is as a coaching staff, doing the things that they're most comfortable with. Maybe not the best play for this coverage, but the best play for that person. I think TJ's unbelievably adept in this offense. Thankfully, he was here this spring. He has a really good feel for it. We've given him reps all year long. He's played in a couple games. You can go out there and say, hey, don't turn the ball over, don't do this, don't do that, and then he'll play a game of don'ts. We're gonna go play. And to me, this is an amazing opportunity for our team to just let it rip and go play. And so I'm excited for him.
Interesting. He says he doesn't want to get over into his head about playing a game of don'ts, right? You don't want him worrying too much about what he's doing or trying to avoid turning the ball over. But it was something that was a little bit interesting in his game last week against USC. The ball hit the floor 3 times with TJ Lateef. So Rule was also asked about teaching TJ Lateef ball security.
Yeah. Those guys are already trained on those things. I really struggle with adding things like in week 10, you know what I mean? So the biggest thing that showed up last game was the ball was punched out of his hands twice as he was running to the sidelines. You had the ball in the inside arm and the right hand. It was punched out. And so, you can't over rep that or else he'll have a sore arm all week, but getting him to understand that hey, there'll be times in this game where you're going to run probably. And ball security is paramount. Kind of going back to your question, hey, but what I don't want to do is start putting things in his head, just do what you're trained to do. I mean, that's so much what good teams do and good players do is they just trust themselves. They have the poise to believe in themselves and not try to be more than they are, not try to do too much, not try to do too little. TJ's a really, 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 really excellent player. I just want to go be himself. But that being said, we teach our guys when to slide, when to dive head first, how to protect themselves going out of bounds. He just has to apply that training.
Yeah, ball control and ball awareness is one of the main components of football. When you talk about, I was right on the sideline when that ball got knocked out. If he would have had the ball in the other hand, switch hands when he's running, he would have been okay. But if you still had 5 more yards to go, Bock, you probably the other team would have had it. But it did go out of bounds. So hopefully he corrected some things this week and it should be ready to roll, man. I'm not worried about a guy who's already played this year. I think it's more of a team thing than just a one-person thing. So, as long as this team rally behind this guy, it should be a good game Saturday.
Yeah, we got a few more clips from Matt Rule to get through around the corner as well. So I agree with you. I mean, I think it's interesting to see what they do. Again, Dylan Raiola, last 5 games or so, hasn't been exploding for huge plays or having big offense. It's just kind of about controlling that offense. We'll see if TJ Lateef can step in and do the same or more.
Yeah. All right, 93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Blackshirt. We'll come back and listen to some more Matt Rule here on Bock the Blackshirt.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It will be breezy. The afternoon high around 65. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover, light winds, and a low around 43. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It will be breezy again. The afternoon high near 66. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket. Customer says, I thought it was common knowledge if you run down the left side, the ball has to be in the left hand. Well, he was running. No, he had the ball in his right hand because he was running to the left, and the ball was in his right. Yeah, the defender came and knocked it out in his right hand. So Rule probably got that one wrong. Yeah, he's supposed to have the ball in his left hand. So he had it in his right hand. Probably Rule didn't probably get it right on that one. TJ's going to run for 100-yard plus. Book it. Pack fan 72, Bock.
I want to book it. I just don't know.
All right. What else we got, Bock?
A few more comments from Matt Rule.
Now, hold on, Bock.
Hold
on. Okay. I want to go through this one before we get out of here. Husker, this is from Iowa fan. He says, Husker fans joking that Iowa is copying their blackout. Must not realize Iowa already did a blackout 2 weeks ago, a week before theirs. You was at that, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was at that blackout. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I don't know. Neither Nebraska or Iowa invented blackouts, so I wouldn't necessarily try to make fun of anybody here. So, yeah, just let it go. I mean, Iowa is going to wear all black against Oregon, but, you know, obviously for them, too, black is one of their primary colors. So it's not uncommon for them to do blackouts.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let's go back to Matt Rule here. Had a few more comments. What have you seen from Lateef, TJ Lateef, that is, as a leader?
Yeah, I think that he just has to play. You know, we don't. You know, he does. We have tremendous leadership. We have captains. We have a ownership group that kind of like our unity council. They're the ones. You know, leaders insert themselves into a point of friction. You know, when there's stress and when there's friction, leaders step up and run into that void. And so, my whole thing with TJ is just play ball, man. Like the best thing he can do is lead by being in the meeting room, by taking extra reps. He came up to me after Tuesday. And, you know, we do good on Tuesdays. You call it team compete. He said, hey, coach, can we get that on Wednesday, please? You know, I want a couple more fast live reps. And so, you know, just the fact he's willing to say that to me and ask that to me is awesome. You know, it shows maturity. And, you know, what I'll say is, you know, coming out of Orange Lutheran, coming out of the conference he played, and he came here very prepared for all this. You know, he's a grateful young man. He's humble, but he's confident. And so I think the other guys will pick up the slack in terms of all those other areas, and he'll just hear the play call, execute the play call. And I like what Dana's done. Like they haven't dumbed it down, man. He's got checks. He's got things built in. He's got all kinds of things. It's like, hey, we're going to go play quarterback.
There you have it. Some good news there. A little bit of extra ones versus ones. TJ Lateef wanted to see the live bullets out there. And as you heard there at the end, too, nothing really being taken away from this offense. Really interesting. That's been a big talking point this week, too. For the way that I've seen it, too, is maybe they're not switching the offensive playbook, installing all these new plays and all this, and I wouldn't expect them to at this point. But do you think certain plays are being put toward the top of the list of plays that you want to that might not otherwise be called because of the different play styles between Dylan Raiola and TJ Lateef?
Well, I think more of the screen game will be more implanted into this team, more of Emmett. Like I said, I mean, I don't. We're gonna have those 3rd and 5th, 3rd and 7 where you have to pass the ball, and I think the short intermittent routes will be good for him. Might surprise you and go long a couple of times. So I don't expect him to change much. He just have a lot more reps than he usually has. So that's the better part of what we're talking about.
Of course, another factor in this game, the game does not kick off till 8 p.m. locally here in Nebraska. Rule is asked if the kickoff time is something that they're kind of considering going into this game.
I thought we played really good in the Cincinnati game. I thought we played really poorly in the Minnesota game. I thought we played really well last week. You know, at the end of the day, it's really all about your mind, right? Your mindset. You know what I mean? If you're ready to play, and what I want is I want people to watch this game and say that's a team that cares about each other. You know, I mean, I as I said the other day, either you're in or you're out, right? And so I want you to see a team that goes on the road, no matter what time we leave, enjoys being together, enjoys sitting in their hotel rooms, enjoys going to a walkthrough, enjoys going to battle against another excellent team, knows that it's going to be you think about the character of the UCLA team, right? They're 0-3. They fire their coach, who was a player there, a great player there, who they all loved, who I coached and I respect. And they've just come together and hung in there together, right? And so I want to see a team that cares about each other. So I look at it like, hey, the late kick gives you more time together. So
there you go. Maybe even beneficial for Nebraska with that late kick. You talked about the different reactions and performances Nebraska had playing at night. A few more here. What has UCLA done to become successful here in the latter portion of the season?
Yeah, it looked like they really started to use the quarterback's legs. It looked like maybe they simplified the offense. They've taken chances. They faked punts. I think they faked 3 punts. I said 4 the other day, but one was just a slow knee, so three punts. But the quarterback is the leading passer. He's also the leading rusher. Now, that's not in every game. Some of the games, they've gotten to some zone reads, and the tailbacks have hit big, long, explosive runs, and they're converting a ton of third downs now. And I think third down really has been the magic for them. There was an 18-play drive. They think they completed 3 or 4 of them, and the quarterback can do it. He's an outstanding player. He can do it with his feet as much as his arm. So if you play zone coverage, he'll find the holes. If you play man coverage, he's going to duck the ball down and run. He outruns people's. They have a rat on him, a spy on him. He outruns the guy. So it's a great week for our D line. They have to produce. They have to show up, and they have to pass rush. And the challenge when you go against a mobile quarterback is sometimes guys start to just latch on and try to keep him in the pocket. Well, that's no way to play football, right? You have to get off and beat the guy in front of you, and then transition your eyes to the quarterback and accelerate. And so I know it's been an emphasis this week. It's been an emphasis all year, mobile quarterbacks versus us. And we'll have to play our best game, especially coming off last week. We had to have a player accounted for the quarterback on every single play. Sometimes people ask me about the count. Well, they're reading the backside of the counter, so I'm sure we'll see some of that. So, it's a challenge anytime you have a running quarterback and you're in zone read with gap schemes and zone schemes, and they have all of it. So, the good news for us is it's 2 weeks in a row of dealing with it, and hopefully we can put it all together.
All right. Well, everybody knows their reads. This defense is not hard, Bock. Either you got containment or either you're hitting the gap. You tackle the ball, you read the play, you intercept the ball, or you get passed on. I don't know why we make it so hard for us not to keep containment on defense. And it's probably the worst thing about our defense is the rushing part about breaking containment late in the game. They do a great job all through the game, but it seems like the fourth quarter, some brains just go dead. So we have to figure out how to get these players to still play at the same level that they play in the first, second, and third quarter, that they have to play this in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, excellent breakdown there. I mean, and that's what we've been doing, is breaking down the Nebraska UCLA in the comments today from Coach Rule regarding that. The final clip that we played today has less to do with that situation, but it is the one that is getting more national news circulation, and that is Coach Rule talking about kind of the Marshawn Nealon situation, which, if you haven't seen, Marshawn Nealon, Cowboys player, has died of an apparent suicide. And Coach Rule talked about mental health and commenting on that Dallas situation.
Tragic news out of Dallas today, and understanding that none of us know what people are going through. That's why I think we all should be careful about what we say to people. I think we should be careful what we tweet about people. I think we should be cognizant of what everyone's going through. And I told our players they should take their headphones off in the cafeteria and sit down with someone and be like, "How you doing, man? What's going on with you?" Because somebody that we're talking to, that we're saying, "What's wrong with that guy? Man, that guy's messed up." Instead of saying what's wrong with them, we should all say, "I wonder what happened to him," because everyone's suffering. And so I look at these opportunities. Everyone's kind of, everyone's, going through something. We're going to go on the road together, man. It's just a chance for us all to come together and be a team and unite together and spend time together. And, I think it's a good opportunity for us, but I have to, I send my condolences, obviously. It's just awful news. But you also know at the same time, I've given the eulogy for players of mine who've had the same thing happen. And so it's just, you never know what people are going through. And I will forever, the rest of my life, think about the time that I saw Adrian Robinson right before he took his own life. and I saw him on campus, and I was walking this way and he was way over there, and I was like, I need to catch up with Adrian because he had got done playing. And a week later, he left this world, and a month later, I was given the eulogy. And I just wish in my life I could go back and just stop and say, hey, how you doing? And so it's not really what you asked, but it's on my heart, and I just share it with the team. Like, I just think it's a time in this world for us to be kind to people, and at the same time care about people and ask about people. Our generation of kids, my kids, they all just say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm straight, and it's just like, you really got to unearth it. So I look at road trips and travel, and I look at time together practice as chances to impact young people's lives and try to be around them. And I would encourage everybody to. I would encourage everybody today with your own kids or the people you work with, just check on them, because that young man scored a touchdown just a couple days ago, and on the outside world, you'd think he's at the pinnacle, but he's dealing with something, and I don't know what it was, but I pray for him and his family. So, that's the weight of coaching young people today, and they're going through a lot, way more than I went through growing up. So, just a sad story, but sad fate. And again, I pray for him. But I also know there's probably someone on my team going through something very similar. And so, in what ways can I be there for them? Can we all be there for them? I think that's the blessing we have of having another week together. So I'm grateful for it. I've challenged our guys all week to be great teammates, to rally together, to come together, and not just for TJ, but for every single guy on this team. And for the guys even that aren't on the trip that are home, just be there for everybody. So that's what we're trying to build. And it's maybe old school and kind of it's not in vogue anymore. Everything's about the transfer portal and rev share, but I still think young people probably need people that care about them. So
there you have it. Powerful words there from Matt Rule on that situation. Remember to check in on your people. But that'll wrap it up for the time that we have today, Terrell, as we get ready for a Good Sense Friday tomorrow.
All right, you're right. Game day is 2 days away. A1 Automotive tailgate pregame will be also Saturday at 5 p.m. So stick it up for Jay Foreman and Austin Allman coming up next on Old School 93.7 The Ticket. Bock The Blackshirt. We out.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sport.